Isambula friends, today we are going to go from Fresno to Las Vegas, and this will be via the 99 highway. So we'll take 99 south and then we're gonna make our way to Bakersfield. From Bakersfield we're going to head east onto the 58 freeway and go into Nevada, and finally reaching our destination at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. And the reason for this trip was because we had a convention going on there. So I'm going to take you on my road trip and we'll discuss some things as we go along. As you know, in the US on the 99 freeway the speed limit is 70 miles per hour, which is equivalent to about 112 kilometers per hour. But as you can see, I'm doing about 70, but you'll see people overtaking me all the time. So they're going in excess of 80-90 miles per hour, which I don't know, you can do the math. 130-140 kilometers per hour. So everybody kind of keeps their speed and everybody is in an ordered way. So hopefully everybody reaches their destination safely, which we did. And but I drive safe. I try to keep it at 70 because we have the family on board. And about Bakersfield is where my friend also meets me at the 58 junction. So then we connect together to towards the mountain ranges and so forth, when we're going to the Vegas freeway, that 58 through the Mojave Desert. So it's an interesting ride. I hope you can enjoy it with me, and I'll give some more details as we drive along. So Fresno is a city in the middle of kind of California, and it is about 4 hours away from Los Angeles and about 3 hours away from San Francisco, if that gives you an idea of where it is. Fresno in Spanish means ash, and this is a major city in the San Joaquin Valley of California. So the whole area around Fresno is called San Joaquin Valley, and there is a lot of farming going on. It's mostly agricultural. It has a population a little bit higher than 500,000. I'm sure it's a lot more, but that's the official census figures. Reason I say it's a lot more is because people keep coming into Fresno, and then there's a lot of people who are not accounted for. As you can see here, we are turning on the Mojave Desert, making a left hand that's going east. So we were going south on the 99 freeway, which would have taken, if we had continued straight, it would have taken us straight into Los Angeles. But since we are not going to Los Angeles, we are going to Nevada, Las Vegas, so we turn into this way. Fresno city itself was founded in 1872 as a railway station of the Central Pacific Railroad before the city was incorporated in 1885. So now it has become an economic hub, and there is a lot of produce from Fresno that goes all over the world, especially raisins, almonds. There's a whole bunch of things that go all. The one big thing of Fresno is there is a Yosemite National Park, which is about 60 miles or 100 kilometers to the north of the Kings Canyon National Park. That's 60 miles to the east, and the Sequoia National Park, which is 75 miles, 120 kilometers to the southeast of Fresno. So Fresno is also the third largest majority Hispanic city in the United States, with over 50% of its population being Hispanic. That was as of 2020. And as you can see, driving from Fresno all the way down to Bakersfield, that was about a 2-hour drive. It's all flat. I mean, flat as you can imagine, and that's why people tend to speed up. They drive as fast as they want to go, unless the cops get them. Of course, then puts a big deterrent, but they do a good job, the California Highway Patrol, in trying to keep people in check. But still, people, there are some who just kind of drive crazy, so we let them go wherever they are rushing to. So now, as we have turned east, you can see the roads are kind of different. The landscape is all brown, and to the right hand side is all farming. It's all brown because this is in summer. I think we were in July when we went, July of 2023, and we are headed to Las Vegas. That's my GoPro flying off the handle with the wind, because I'm already doing 70, so you can see that it just kind of, the wind knocked it out. But anyways, so even when you're heading east on the 58 freeway, it's still a long drive. So from Fresno to Las Vegas is about 400 miles, which means that it's about 7 hours drive if you take it easy. But with that said, it takes me longer because I take breaks. I take a lot of breaks, bathroom breaks, just to stretch your leg after an hour or two, because you're doing 112 kilometers per hour, which is you're focused on the road, even though there's not that many traffic, but still not much traffic, but still you have to keep your eyes on the road. So it's always good to take a break. So it normally takes me about maybe 7.5 hours or maybe 8, and I try not to be in a rush to get there, because what's there to do? You just go check into the hotel and then just rest. So there's no point in taking that risk. So we just take it easy, enjoy the ride, keep our speed up, and whatever is posted sign, and if you put it on your GPS on your phone, it'll give you the speed limit that you're supposed to be. So we stay at the speed limit. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you are slow, stay in the right lane, because I've seen sometimes people they just are crawling on the freeway. I mean, freeway they give a speed limit. Try to stay at the posted speed limit. I mean, if you're going fast, so that's fine, but anyway, just continue enjoying the landscape here, and see, if you'll notice that the hills over there, they're all desert. I mean, it's all deserty, 109 degrees right now. How they made the roads here is a miracle in itself. It's a wonder. Those big radius turns, and walking through all that heat and making those roads. So, I mean, something to imagine. And the landscape, see how beautiful those mountains are in the distance. The camera does not do justice to the actual view when you are there. So it is beautiful, that's all I can say. Our drive will take us through Tehachapi. So Tehachapi, or some people say Tehachapi, I'm not sure what's the proper way to say it, but it is one of those areas that is way up in the mountains. I mean, when we start climbing, we're gonna have some serious climb, some serious steep climbing, and it just keeps on going and going. So some details about Tehachapi, I guess. It means a hard climb in Spanish, and it is a city in the Kern County. The elevation there is about 4,000 feet, and it's in the Mojave Desert. So here we're getting very close to Nevada now. I mean, it's already nighttime as we are continuing to approach that. And as it's 9:35, and we left at 2 p.m. So that's like 7.5 hours, and we're still driving. So one thing I was talking about Tehachapi. So one thing is that there's an airport up there, and if you have a little plane and you try to take off during the day and you fill up full of gas, that plane might not be able to take off, because the air density is, I mean, it's desert, right? So the air density gets so light, I mean the air molecules are so far apart that there is not enough air for the engine to breathe. So if it's like a non-turbo or some other type, you might want to reconsider flying into that airport, because you'll be able to land in there, but you might not be able to take off until the temperature goes down, and it gets really hot out there. So something to consider if you're a pilot flying in and out of Tehachapi or Tehachapi. So we are, as you can see, Las Vegas billboards. The roads are a little bit different. When you enter Vegas, you probably just go right in. You won't even know that you are on that, except if the signs were not out there, then you probably wouldn't even know that, you know. Of course, the roads are slightly different. The markings are slightly different because now we are in a different state. And of course, different state means a little bit different rules. So be careful of that. Speed limits, especially. The road rules are pretty much the same. I've done many trips to Vegas, but it's you know, you always have to be alert. There's always crazy people on the roads anywhere you go. So I'm going to give a little bit detail about Las Vegas. And so Las Vegas in Spanish means the meadows. It's sometimes just known as Vegas. It is the 25th most populous city in the US. Gambling is legal over there, and that's why a lot of people go there. In California, gambling is illegal unless you are on the native reservation, and that's why you have all the casinos in California. Whereas in Vegas, it's not. You can be gambling anywhere. You could go to a 7-Eleven store and find a slot machine there. I mean, it's that, you know. So Vegas was settled in 1905, and officially the city was incorporated in 1911. So it's a old city, over 100 years. So another thing that I forgot to take a video of is, as you are getting close to Vegas, about 1 hour away from Vegas, or maybe could be more, there is the Boneyard. The Boneyard is where all the aircraft get retired and they get placed over there. So you'll see all different airlines and a whole bunch of planes, and you're probably wondering, where do those planes go? So they go over there, and I guess they could be used as spare parts, or if somebody around the world needs something. I don't know who owns that. It's like a junkyard really, but it's called the Boneyard. So it's an interesting place. I've always been hoping to go in there and have a peek in there, but I just never really got around to doing that. So that's something, you know. And then also there is Death Valley, that you know, there's Ghost Town also. I couldn't find the videos of those clips. I may have used my phone, or I'm not sure. I might have just been too bored because the drive is kind of long, and you know, or just talking to my friend who is following us on the phone, so we're just kind of talking back and forth. So we may have just passed that. But of course, now we are in Vegas, and we're our hotel is at the Las Vegas Strip at the Caesars Palace, and we're going to try to make it through to that place. I have a truck that I'm driving. It's a Toyota Tundra, and it has a camper shell. So if you're planning on staying at the Caesars Palace, just know that their parking structure has very low ceilings, and I managed to scrape the top of my camper shell a little bit. It left a few marks over there because their parking structure, and on top of the regular price of their hotel, they charge you an additional fee for that parking. Whereas if you choose some other hotel, they don't do that. Some of them have free parking, some have free breakfast and all this. But the reason we got Caesars Palace was because we were through our convention, which I later changed after one night stay. I was like, okay, I'm done with you, Caesar's Palace. This is no good. So we just went to a different place, and I'm glad that we did that. So this is, I think, the next day. We're just driving around, and we went to an Airbnb place, which was way better than Caesar's Palace. I mean, the building they gave us, Octavia or something, that wasn't all that hype. It just wasn't worth it. So we stayed at a newer place, and very nice Airbnb place. It worked out great. And of course, you see on the right hand side, like that Ferris wheel. So that's the high roller. They charge some fee to get in there. However, because of our convention, we had free tickets with wine and beer or whatever, sponsored by Celsius drink. So we were in there, and that's in my next video, where I do a walk around of the Las Vegas Strip and take you through a journey of the Caesar's Palace, Tropicana, so many different ones. I just doesn't come to mind, but we just walked through, wander through all that, and then we go. That high roller is a pretty nice thing to go into. I mean, it's very nice and comfy. Very, you don't have to be afraid of heights. I mean, or if you are afraid of heights, it's made in such a way where you don't even feel it. You can sit around there, and if you're not afraid, then you can kind of lean over and look. But it goes up so gently, and it goes up about 1500 feet or something. I think something like that. I have it in my other video. So here we are, just trying to check the parking situation, and I think we ended up trying to find free parking at the treasure hunt, at the treasure palace, something like that, Treasure Island. So we found free parking at Treasure Island, and then we walked about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to the high roller. And after we did our event at the high roller, then we went, and of course, because we did free parking, so we thought it was only right to kind of do some gambling at the Treasure Island. And it's an older casino, Treasure Island, but I kind of liked it. They were, you know, it wasn't all electronic machines and all that, so it was a great move, I think. So these buildings are the Airbnb that we stayed at. It was totally worth it. 3 large buildings, 3 different towers, and it was totally worth it. You could check up Airbnb and find for yourself. But these worked out really nice, much better than Caesar's Palace. It's a little bit further away from the strip, but it's not too bad. So there it is. And of course, as you cross over from the Nevada border into the California area, there is that Air Force Base, Edwards Air Force Base, which is the home of the Air Force Test Center. It's a test pilot school and NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center. So there's a lot of things happening in that, and we were we saw some weird balloons, and we saw some weird aircraft, and we found out that there was a B-52 bomber, Spirit, that kept on going back and forth. And so at first we thought it was some kind of parachute. It was far away and in the desert, the mirage and all that. So we weren't sure, and we thought, okay, well, it might be something, because there's a lot of gliders from the Tehachapi area also. So we weren't sure, but then as we were driving along, this B-52, and you can tell by its odd shape, it just came very close to us, and it was just crisscrossing us. And by the time we got our camera out there and started to make a video of it, it just kind of just went into the far distance, and that's coming up pretty quickly here. So you're going to see that, and of course you see all the flat stretches, and we're just trying to drive. I mentioned going from California into Nevada, there is nothing, no checkpoints, nothing, no customs or anything like that, but there is some kind of a checkpoint over here when you are returning to California. So there was nobody there. It's just kind of like sometimes there are people who do some checks, or I don't know what actually they do, but there is some kind of a checkpoint there, and so we just kind of went right through and on towards meeting that B-52 bomber on the way back. So there we are, continuing with our journey. And every time we got our camera, we thought, okay, the B-52 is already gone. So then it just kind of turns around and comes again. And so it tricked us a couple of times, and then finally we had our camera out there ready. And as you can see, it's approaching right in the center of the screen, and it is very low flying, very, very low. And it just kind of goes over us and then out into the distance. So you can see there it is, doing some practice skills or something, because Air Force, the Edwards Air Base is very close by, so I'm sure it's probably doing its rounds from there. So there it is. As we start to go downhill, It doesn't look like it, but now we are getting closer to Bakersfield, probably an hour away from Bakersfield, and then another 2 hours away from Fresno. So still a little less than halfway there. But thank you. I appreciate you for going through this journey with me from Fresno to Las Vegas and then coming back. If you like and can subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. And thank you for staying with me all through the ride. And we'll be home in just a little bit. Thank you, and appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.